But the way you guys are talking, I mean, this is pretty ominous as we speak, right?
Sure
To
is.
people who say, oh, it might be a bust, it could be a bust, you say what?
I say absolutely not. And I have family in Florida.
Me too.
My dad, he's elderly, he's worried, and he should be. And he's on the opposite coast of landfall.
Yeah.
But there's going to be big impacts there as well.
I think looking at Helene versus now Milton, what is the primary difference? Is it just where it's hitting and it's more populated in that area?
The primary difference for me is Helene was a storm that affected a huge number of people, right? I know it came on shore in a relatively rural area, but then it moved in. It affected folks that were in North Carolina, South Carolina. This is going to be Florida's storm. Period. This is for Florida. It's a beast, though. It's going to be a monster. You were talking about the rapid intensification of the storms. I looked yesterday for the fastest storm from tropical depression to a Cat 5. So it's not. But Vanessa, from a Cat 1 to a Cat 5 in 10 hours?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And here's the activity in the tropics right now. All eyes on Milton, but we've got a system here sort of off to the east of Florida, has a 20% chance to develop, an area to watch off the coast of Africa with a 20% chance to develop. You've got to keep in mind, as far as those real busy months of the hurricane season, it's not the dead of summer. Look at this. September gives us more hurricanes than any other month on average, and you would be surprised to know that it is October that is virtually tied with August for second place. A lot of activity in October. In fact, some of the strongest in history have occurred during this month. Here's our picture outside right now, which is a beautiful one. Few clouds, nice looking sky, 66 degrees, 68 was the high, 53 your morning low out there. That is the coldest temperature we've recorded in Central Park since May the 13th, and I see it getting cooler out there still. No real problems out there. Again, a couple of wispy clouds. Any of the rain to your north stays to the north, not slated for our area. These little showers that you see in eastern Pennsylvania, diurnal. Once you take the sun out of the picture, that's going to fade away. We have a beautiful forecast for, the next 3 days. I don't see any problems. Wednesday, 65. Thursday, 63. Real chilly Thursday morning. Friday, 68. And I think you're back to the 70s by the time you get to the weekend. Got to check in on Hurricane Milton. We talked, we've been talking about this all over the place. Back to Cat 5, 165-mile-per-hour winds. But I want to talk about the track because you heard me and Rob Marciano discussing, hey, a 20-mile span, if it wobbles 10 miles to the north or 10 miles to the south, makes an enormous difference. And it's all because of how these storms circulate the water. So right now we see it coming on shore. Crazy consensus it's going to be in and around Tampa. But where in Tampa? Is it just north? Is it just south? Wherever this thing makes its landfall, look at the skinny red line. All right, there's Tampa. This comes in to Tampa. All right, but let's talk about it. And let's give you some scenarios. Let's say it goes to Madeira Beach, all right? Just to the north of the opening of Tampa Bay. Here is how it circulates water, counterclockwise, right? That's going to just funnel all of that water into this opening. There's nowhere for it to go. It's going to flood. That's where you get a 13 to 15 storm surge with this storm. If, however, you take this and you move it just a little bit down to the south, now that same alert circulation, it's actually draining the bay, and that forecast is for about 3 to 5 feet of storm surge. It would actually drain the bay at some points in time, but what a difference. I mean, we're talking 8 to 10 feet of difference if it wobbles by 10 miles one way or the other. I mean, excuse the enthusiasm here, guys, but this is fascinating stuff to me. The two scenarios that could be played out with a 20-mile difference. Again, our forecast around here it's a weatherman's delight. It's beautiful, guys. Beautiful fall weather. Warmer on the weekend, maybe lower mid-70s out there. Pretty good-looking skies. Otherwise, kind of crisp and sort of fall-like out there. But what a couple weeks this has been.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been 3 months.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
not over either. Thank you, Lonnie.
A lot to go.